안녕하세요, hello and welcome to my match review of Pohang vs Jeju SK. A second consecutive victory for a jubilant Jeju against a disappointing Pohang performance sees the Tangerines climb the table and sit just 3 points behind a top 3 place. Here is how the table looks after the conclusion of round 7. Nearly 20% of the season completed, and as I mentioned earlier, despite a rocky start for the Islanders, they now just sit 3 points behind 3rd place Jeonbuk. Park Tae-ha with 2 changes from the win over Daejeon last round. Shin Kwang-hun replaces Kim Ye-sung and Han Hyun-so comes in for Kim Ho-jin. And for Jeju, Sergio Costa named a completely identical squad to that who achieved his first win last weekend. The first real chance fell for the hosts. Jorge Teixeira swung in a cross from deep towards the head of the towering EOJ, but the 6'4" Korean was unable to get a good connection on the ball as it bounced off the floor and straight into the hands of Kim Dong-jun. Jeju's chance for an attack started from some great pressing up front. Shin Sang-eun's inside press forced Pohang's Park Chan-young to play the pass forward. However, this pass triggered Jeju's Chang Min-kyu to close in on the opposing midfielder. As a result, Kim Seung-ho played a weak pass back to Han Hyun-so, which was duly intercepted by Kim Jun-ha, who ran goalwards and held up the ball for the overlap of Jang Min-kyu. The pass was slightly overhit, but Jang Min-kyu did well to adjust his body for the shot, which went under the fully stretched Hwang In-jae, who really should have done better with his goal-stopping attempt. As we entered towards the 22nd minute, I'm just going to let this clip play out, just so you can truly understand the calamitous defensive display on show. A scrap in the Jeju goalmouth which was eventually cleared by Celestin. Just 5 minutes after that calamitous defensive display, Kim Dong-jun rolled the ball out wide to Celestin, who himself let the ball roll further down the pitch before playing a lofted ball over the Pohang defense. Up towards Shin Sang-eun, who used his pace to get past Park Chan-young. Hwang In-jae rushed off his line to put pressure on Jeju's attacker. However, a quick and decisive flick of the ball over the keeper's head saw the ball bounce into the goal and double the away side's margin. With under 60 seconds of regular time to be played in the first half, Pohang were desperate for a goal back to half the deficit. Kim Seung-ho saw EOJ ahead of him. EOJ played it to his left into the feet of Juninho, but in doing so, he was bundled over by Tobias. Juninho picked up the loose ball and charged forward, but as he cut onto his left foot, he too was taken out by Celestin. The referee was ready to blow for a free kick, but rightly played the advantage to Pohang. Hwang So-woong collected possession for the hosts, turned onto his favoured right foot, but his shot sailed over the bar, not troubling Kim Dong-jun in goal. Pohang started the second half how they ended the first half, on the front foot. Kim Ye-sung, a half-time substitute, saw his cross into the box take a nick off Kim Rung-song's shin. Italo headed the ball away from goal, but not quite away from danger as Oh Jong-won passed to veteran Ki Song-young, who shot from distance, but Kim Dong-jun was level to it and tipped it around for a corner. Just a few minutes after the previous chance, Pohang kept knocking for a way back into the game. Oh Jong-won played the ball up to Hwang So-woong, who ran from one corner of the penalty area to the other unchallenged and then laid it out wide to Juninho. The Brazilian swung a ball into the box, which landed perfectly at the feet of EOJ, who shot on the turn, but the strike lacked any venom and was an easy collection for Kim Dong-jun. With just under 30 minutes remaining, Pohang's desperation increased. Long balls over the backline was the new plan in action. Kim Ye-sung was on the receiving end of that pass. He laid it back to Oh Jong-won, who crossed it in first time. But once again, Kim Dong-jun was quick off his line to punch away, but only as far as Juninho, who shot, but Yoon-soo was able to block and clear from danger. 10 minutes after, Kim Jae-woo opted for his trademark long throw. A physical battle between Ha Kyung-so and Negeba saw the Brazilian outmuscle his opponent and get the better of him on the outer side. Despite some grappling of the shot from Han Hyun-so, Negeba was honest and stayed on his feet. But maybe he was a bit too honest, as a poor cross attempt off balance was pounced upon by Hwang In-jae. In the dying embers of the match, Pohang was still searching for a goal to spark a late comeback. Hwang In-jae launched into the other half. EOJ shielded Kim Rung-song away from the ball, which landed kindly to Anderson. The cross was attempted, but eventually blocked by the high-intensity press of Kim Rung-song. But for the second time in this passage, it fell kindly again for Anderson, who drove into the space ahead. He flicked the ball between the defenders to EOJ, who used his physical dominance to get the better of Kim Rung-song and put a ball into the box. Onto the head of Oh Jong-won, who, unfortunately for him, saw his effort hit the outside of the post and out for a goal kick. Despite falling short for most of the game with their chances, Pohang did not give up and were still searching at least for a consolation goal. EOJ won the flick on from the long ball, but for the infinite time this match, Kim Dong-jun was quickest to react and claim the ball, and Jeju claimed all 3 points as boos rung around the steel yard. Overall, despite Pohang having the lion's share of possession, 63% compared to Jeju's 37%, they wasted a lot of chances. And although the hosts had 8 shots to Jeju's 3, the majority of Pohang's efforts were either long shots and over the bar or just straight into the hands of Kim Dong-jun, posing no real threat. Jeju, on the other hand, will be ecstatic to record a second consecutive win under Sergio Costa. Costa deployed the back 3 in possession and it worked wonders again, a very solid defensive display. I can certainly get used to watching Tobias and Celestin together, a great partnership is starting to form. But that concludes my match review for Pohang vs Jeju. Next up, the Islanders will host a winless Gimcheon on Saturday the 18th of April. Thank you for watching this video. 정말 감사합니다, and I will see you next time.